In this video, I'm going to show you how to categorize data in R. I'm going to be currently using Jupyter Notebook, but this code will work in any R script or R notebook, including in RStudio. So the first thing we need to do is I'm going to load in tidyverse. So I'm going to do library parentheses tidyverse. And if you don't have tidyverse installed, you need to do install.packages parentheses quotations and tidyverse inside those quotations. So I can run this. This is going to load my tidyverse in, and then I can start using tidyverse. So I'm going to use a specific data set that's already available in R called MPG. This is basically a data set with a bunch of information about cars that came out kind of between 1999 and 2008. And it has several of their characteristics here. So what we can do is we can actually add in columns here and create new categories based off logical conditions of the database. So let's do something really simple. Let's say we want this A4 and this A4 to have something that we can just easily call all of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a pipe operator here. So this is from dplyr. It's just a % greater than sign %. And what that does is take everything that's been done before it and basically pulls it in as the data set for the next function. So what we're going to do is something called mutate. And so what mutate does is it mutates the data frame to be able to basically add in a new column, typically based off some data within the data frame. So we're going to make this column called A4. So basically it's going to be, is it A4 or is it not A4? And so what we're going to do is A4 equals, and then what we need to do to be able to categorize, we're going to use something called case when. And case when is really something that's from SQL, and it's something that R allows us to use to be able to query our database. So we are going to do case underscore when and new parentheses. And so what we want to do is pass in a logical condition that will tell it whether it's true or not, and then we're going to give it what to set this column to if it's true. So we're going to use the function grepl here because we have a string that we want to know if this contains that string, then it should be true. So we can use grepl, we're going to do parentheses there. We're going to pass in first our string, so that's going to be an A4. And then outside the string, we're going to pass it in the column that we want this applied to. So that would be model. So this is the first part of our function, is going to give it the true or false values. Then the second part is we're going to put a little tilde there. And now we need to tell it what do we want the column to say when this is true. And so what I'm going to have it say is yes. So yes, this is a car with an A4. And then if I just run this, what it'll do is for every other one, it will say NA. It's not applicable. So if I run this, you can see we have a new column here called A4, and we have yes, and then we have a bunch of NAs. Now, what if I want this NA to say no instead? So what we're going to do is put an exclamation in front of grepl, put in the exact same code as we have before, and then tell it to set this to no. So what this is saying is it's going to run this the exact same before. It's going to give true for the exact same columns that this gave true for. And then our exclamation is telling it to inverse that. So if it says true, actually make it be a false. And so it's going to basically put a no everywhere that it doesn't have a yes. And so if we run that, we can now see we get no's everywhere. The other way to do this, if you just want it to say no to everything and you don't necessarily know the logic here, that's perfectly fine. What you can do instead is put true and then your tilde no. So if it's false, it's going to give it a no. So if we run this, we're going to get the exact same data set as if we ran our other one as well. And then we can chain multiple of these together. So we can say instead, and these are going to go logically. So if I said, if the model equals, and we're going to say A4 quattro, and then we're going to say it's the quattro, and this we're just going to say yes. So if I ran this instead, and let me not forget to put my comma there, what you're going to see is they're all going to say yes here. And this is because it's running these in order. So if it was true here, it's automatically getting assigned this. Then if it's not true here, it will run this. And then if it's not true here, it'll run that. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to move this up one. We're going to place that there and that there. And when we run this, now we see the quattro here, the yes here, and the no here. And so that's one way to be able to get a column to be able to filter. Now, if I come down here and just run MPG again, that column isn't there. What you need to do to keep that column to be able to use it is to set it to something. So I'm going to say my df is equal to that. And then I'm going to run df here. And now you can see I have my column here. And so now I'm going to go ahead and real quick filter. If you don't know what I'm doing here, check out this video above all about filtering with strings. But I'm just going to say is A4 equal to yes. And you can see now I get back only the ones that have A4 in it. So in this case, when you can do any form of logical condition, including numeric, string, anything you can think of, it can handle. I just wanted to show you how to use the case when function. I will leave a few videos up here if you're interested in more tutorials, and please like this video if it was helpful and subscribe to this channel for more R tutorials, and I hope to see you in the next video.